Welcome everybody back to our channel, and today we have a brand new, well, a bit old, but it's still on early access. It was on early access, so it's released right now in December. GTFO. Developer 10 Chambers spent years on working on GTFO before the early access, obviously, and after he initially released, the team spent a further 2 years refining the experience prior to the version 1 launch. GTFO took massive strides in that time, and this week launch update is sludge either, adding in both teammate character customization and a few tiny notes toward the accessibility. GTFO now feels like a full package. It's full loaded. Talking inspiration from the style pioneered by Left 4 Dead, GTFO is a co-op focused horror experience where a team of 4 prisoners must fight against hideous monsters in a vast underground complex. In addition to an impressive array of firearms, each player has the opportunity to bring in a tool device their role in the expedition. Whenever it's like laying down, suspending from the fire of several turrets, or scanning the rooms ahead of the enemies, each prisoner plays a vital role in keeping their teammates alive and kicking against a swarm of unspeakable horrors. One thing that hasn't changed since the GTFO early access days is how hard each mission can be. Thankfully, exploring tunnels and launching onto a small hope of survival is extremely fun, even when things fall apart. Random enemy placement keeps things fresh, and the teamwork required to pull off a successful run makes for investigating triumphs. And its best, each session provides memorable encounters that players can trade stories about long after they pull the controls down. Each run starts with a literal experience elevator to hell as you are dragged into the dark and dropped into the facility. Missions are time-locked and available in different times, which developer 10 Chambers say will community work together on each objective and foster of a sense togetherness. Many of the team working on GTFO are Payday 2 veterans, and it seems like a consequent decision to avoid 9999 different missions that populate the game. Nonetheless, each of the different missions takes place in a different settings. You could be exploring an industrial storage facility or laboratory, or even locations full of jeeps and concerned cleansing. That appears to be a vision center for the deep dark hell. Exploring of these zones is never comfortable. Darkness is particularly precise, and GTFO darkness can effectively concern real dangers. You are often told on target in the gloom thanks to the teammate Bear tracker, the aliens monitor tracking all but name. The bright flashlights alert enemies, so instead you throw a glow stick in the direction indicated and reveal 3 sleeps resting in the shadows. Sleepers are mutated humanoids that are dormant but introduce too much light, motion or noise, and they will kick right off. Carefully approaching and hiding sleepers to avoid detection sometimes requires coordination between multiple players, and when it works, the release of tension is palpable, but it only lasts few seconds before there is something else to deal with. The oppressive gloom of the long-buried interiors is occasionally interrupted by story-related moments of juxtaposition. Something new since I played GTFO in early access is the items at the end of the mission that gives insight into the facilities you're exploring before everything went wrong. Grabbing the first item suddenly and seamless teleports you are the other players to sunny open desert that really rams home dark and claustrophobic. Each levels are. They are surprisingly delightful and often more than just a pretty interlude. While being detected is really dangerous because of the enemies, it forces you to use your precious ammunition. It is response to every one of the game instant monsters, and if you run out of quickly die, it's a shame. You'll be trying to conserve ammo, because ripping rounds out of any GTFO weapons is incredibly satisfying. The sound design has a futuristic twist on reliability conversion weapons, meaning that while the carbine is basically any assault rifle in use today, its energetic sound design brings incredible sci-fi to every military burst. Shotguns are unmistakable beats that roar with every shot, and the machine gun hums as charges before ripping apart anything unfortunate enough to be in your sights. In general, each run will be spent creeping around dark rooms with mistakes and security doors to create the quiet. Security doors are often between you and the objective and have a varying degrees of alarms to contend with. Any alarm door will summon bad guys to your position, and they need to be kept at bay while you're playing King of the Hill and get into the certain circles to deactivate the alarm. Thankfully, you are often pre-warn of alarm and can set up to defend. C-foam launchers and grenades can reinforce doors and create sticky traps, while players can use the mine deployer to lock down choke points, and sentry guns can wild down the enemies before you reach. While all of you despite Diablo are useful, they can be hazardous to you. The game has full friendly fire which applies to mines and sentry guns. Some of the most devastating damage we received came from a friendly sentry gun that wasn't smart enough to avoid trying to shoot through us. While players can set off trip mines, they can be ruined by splash damage if the enemy passes through the laser. Security doors are often the point of defeat in the run, and carefully planning and executing defense so crucial. While the game is punishing, it's rarely enemy damage that will be end run, but instead of death 1000 cuts as you start running out of resources. Several zones can contain lockers with supplies throughout each location, but there is rarely as much as you like. Each player can carry one deployable item such as glow sticks or fog repellers and one consumable like a mediapack defense. Each of these consumables has a painfully limited number of uses, and choosing who gets the ammo, who gets health, and when is the most impact part of any run. While well stocked of ammo and health, it's hard to see fight that won't go players' way, but with the scarcity of those resources, nearly every shot is important. The developers have made a massive job for this game, and I like this game at all. I was playing it when it first released on early access, and I have to say there is quite a few changes which I already said before in the video. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Also hit those bells and push the like button. Peace. Have a good one.